joined today by Brandon Munro, CEO of Bannerman Energy. Brandon, thanks for your time.
Thanks, David.
Uranium seems to be the flavour of the month at the moment. Everyone's talking about it, the price is rising, but Bannerman and yourself have been in this a long time. You've had to be very patient, and now the good times are coming. Tell us about a Tango and the development over the last 18 years to get to this point.
So our Tango project, we've been in Namibia focused solely on this project for 18 years. We've taken it right through from discovery, resource drilling, initial feasibility work, metallurgical work, an enormous amount of technical work which has culminated in putting ourselves in the position where we are now, which is a shovel-ready project as the market starts coming to us. That technical work, it's included obviously the feasibility work. We released a definitive feasibility study in December 2022, but it also included a pilot plant, so a heap leach demonstration plant, which we operated at industrial capacity for several years. And that was a vital part really of de-risking the project, of really making sure that its technical parameters were understood to the nth degree. So that contributes to the position we're in now. The technical work, it's been done very thoroughly and meticulously over many years. And wherever there was a de-risking opportunity, we took it, and we've had the time to do it. As you say, we have mastered the art of strategic patience along the way.
For people who don't know Namibia, it has a very strong and proud uranium culture.
It sure does. In fact, it's been exporting uranium initially through the Rossing uranium mine only for 45 years. The people around the mine and around the coast and in the country generally are very accepting of uranium mining. It's been an important part of the economy. With the addition of the Husab uranium mine and before that the Langer Heinrich uranium mine, Namibia is now the third largest producer in the world of uranium. So it's a big player on the world stage, but also uranium mining is a big contributor to Namibia's fiscus and its society. And I lived in Namibia for 5 or 6 years. It was an absolute pleasure. And so I understand the country well, I understand the people well, and they're very accepting. They're looking for development. Namibia, like many developing countries, has some serious challenges. It has a real challenge with unemployment. And so the impact that we can have as a large-scale mine in that economy, in that community, is profound. So the people want it. We're, of course, very motivated to deliver that for the host communities in which we operate. And it's a very stable, politically secure environment with which to operate.
What about the macro piece? You've been in this sector a long time. What are you seeing, and what is the future starting to look like?
Well, we're seeing, I think, the demonstration of what we've expected for several years, which is growing demand. It's been boosted very significantly by changing political environments, changing policies, a reversal in several key markets, including South Korea, for example, the restart of reactors in Japan. So the imminent development over the next several years of small modular reactors. That's contributing to a really solid demand picture. I can't say the same for supply, and that's because the last bear market in uranium, which started in 2011, has been very deep, desolate. Prices spent years under the average cost of production for the sector. And what that did is it just washed away investment into this sector. And we're now experiencing the end result of that lack of investment. There's a handful of projects that have survived that bear market, a Tango being a prime example. There's been some recent exploration around the world, but going forward with that strong demand profile, the world is going to need an all guns blazing approach to uranium exploration and development over the next several decades to be able to meet the anticipated demand that nuclear power will deliver around the world.
How hard was it to stay focused when no one was talking about uranium? No one had interest, but Bannerman stayed focused, stayed the course. How hard was it to do that?
It was hard, and it was hard at a couple of levels, right? On the one hand, maintaining belief was not hard. We were absolutely convinced that nuclear power needed to turn around. I'm actually pleased to say it's performing better than we would have expected or dared to hope for. So the demand picture is stunningly impressive for nuclear power over the next several decades. But we didn't just have a belief, it wasn't a blind faith. We modelled the entire sector soon after I became CEO in 2016. And we tested that model, we presented it to the board. Now the reason why that was important, and to your point, David, about staying focused, is we had to make some tough decisions as a company about how we would survive the bear market. So decisions ranging from, did we venture into another commodity to keep us going? Did we strip out all of our employees and simply go into care and maintenance? Or did we continue moving forward in a very careful way that ensured that we respected the cost of capital that bear market share prices resulted in? Now, we chose the latter. I'm really pleased now that we did. It's really hard to get people. We wouldn't have wanted to gut our organisation entirely. The nuclear industry, the buyers of our uranium, they don't really understand that ASX companies sometimes need to reinvent themselves to stay at the wicket. So they generally see a diversion into another commodity as a lack of focus, and will judge a company for that. So we've got now the benefit of staying focused during that period. And over and above that, because we've continued sensibly to invest technically into the project along that journey, we're now positioned exactly where we would want to be, shovel ready, as the market's now really tightening and showing signs of further price growth above the $80 a pound that we're sitting at today as we talk.
Getting many phone calls?
Yeah, it's a good time to be, you feel very popular at a time like this. It's a good time of your life to be a uranium CEO.
So earlier you had to be patient for one reason. Now you're having to be patient for a different reason, waiting and trying to work out what's the best deal for Bannerman and its shareholders.
Well, you're right. Yeah. Now is the patience that actually yields the results. It was tempting a few months ago as uranium started to come into a position where our project looked good financially to jump at those contracts. But we reminded ourselves that, we have been at this for a very long time. Our shareholders have been very patient. We've consistently asked our shareholders to maintain their patience at least for a little bit longer. And that's what we're still prepared to do. We're doing it actively in the sense that our corporate strategy over the last couple of years, when this sector finally moved from bear market to bull market, has been very deliberate in its ensuring that we are able to be patient. We had the chance to raise a substantial amount of money, which we did. We've been very, very frugal with how we've spent that money. So despite spending a year almost engaged in front-end engineering and design, we've still got $40 million in the bank, or near to. So that balance sheet means that we can be patient. We've designed the technical work in such a way that the project is not going stale. Otherwise, that could make us impatient. In the current cost environment, a one-year-old DFS, if it's not constantly updated with the front-end engineering and design, you're quite legitimately going to have big questions about, well, can you really rely on those numbers anymore? And then the final thing that we've done to make sure that we can stay patient is the way that we've developed the team. So we're being careful that we've made key appointments in senior executive positions, but we're ensuring that, at least for now, we don't have too much of a payroll that we need to feed if we decide, another 3 months is going to yield a much better long-term result for shareholders, or whatever the case might be.
A globally significant project in a tier 1 jurisdiction, lots of calls coming in, a great time to be a uranium CEO, as you said. Exciting times ahead. We can't wait to follow the story. Brendan, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Dave.